quite a run of billboards back there, Heather, and now, well, around the corner, it's not surprising there's none here, but there was an anti-co-governance one, there was a reality check radio one, and an ACT one.
And here come more ACT ones. Farming community, we're driving on our way to the one of the Kaikoura candidate meetings. And so passing all of these things on the road, and hence the traffic noise you can hear.
Yeah, it's a bit like I Spy with my little eye. Oh, there's Winston, the local candidate.
Yep.
And on the same farm paddock, there's an ACT side behind a Winston, New Zealand First Front side, and an anti-co-governance one on the other side of the road. This is hilarious. This is State Highway 6 in full bloom.
I'm Heather Roy.
And I'm Simon Ewing-Jarvie. Welcome.
Welcome to VoterTorque podcasts. So today's significant because overseas voting has opened.
Yep.
And early voting starts on the 2nd of October. So, gosh, I hope my papers arrive soon.
I've got mine.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, well, the Pony Express moves faster in the South Island. It's less congested.
Everyone will have the list of party lists in that case. Were there any parties that you hadn't heard of on your list?
Yeah, I was surprised there were a few actually. Well, heard of versus the reality of them getting their 500 members. So Leighton Baker, who you recall split off from the New Conservatives, has set up his own party, quite incisively called the Leighton Baker Party, and has 3 on the list there. There's the animal rights.
Where are they? Under A. Animal Justice Party.
That's it.
Yep, they've got a list of 17. There's the Women's Rights Party.
Yep. I'm assuming they're the Posey Parker, sponsor group.
Right, and the New Zealand Loyal Party, led by Liz Gunn. So she's been controversial and in the news. Other than that, you've probably heard of most of them. There's the New Nation Party, that doesn't, and NewZeal, they don't get a lot of airtime. But Alfred Nairo is leading the NewZeal Party, and someone called Michael Jacob, the New Nation Party. Don't really know much about them.
No, but good on them. They've put themselves out there, and they've obviously, well, you hope they've obviously managed to get 500 members, which is not easy.
No, that's right. So the law dictates that to be able to register a party in New Zealand, you need to have 500 paid-up members. And you may recall a few years ago, people were questioning whether Winston actually had that many and whether those members were paid up.
Yeah, and the same happened with United Future and Peter Dunn at one stage. There was a challenge on his membership.
Yep. So, it's not actually quite as simple as you might think to start a political party, and very hard work actually running one. Yeah. So, what message have we got for the voters around the party lists?
Well, do your research is one thing. I mean, I know there's been a bit of discussion, as we had a question in the last episode on ACT discarding some of its members as candidates, but there's plenty of people in other lists that have probably said similar things on social media.
Yep, and it's not that hard to do the research, really. If you go to the parties' websites, you'll see the lists all there. There'll be photographs of the candidates, and there'll be statements from each of them in most cases, telling you what they believe in, what their background and experiences is, and why you should vote for them. So not many people actually go to the bother of doing that. They think they know what a party stands for and give their party vote that way, but you can't complain about the government you get if you haven't done your background work before you vote.
No, and that's absolutely right. And look, the internet is a blessing and it's a curse. So before the internet, every one of us would have said something dumb or written something in a note that wasn't probably what you'd want to have other people reading 10 years later, but they never did because there was no internet. Now there is. And people are entitled to have an opinion. They're entitled to change their mind too. So we need to voters need to keep that in mind also when they're getting very excited about somebody who may have said something dumb on Facebook once.
Yeah, and the furore that was raised very recently about an ACT candidate who had liked some things on Twitter. I think that people have different views about what liking a comment is. I'm not trying to defend him, but I don't think we can automatically assume that he was completely aligned to some of the views. And I know with my kids, the younger generation, they think that it's that they have to like things that their friends put up, for example.
Yeah, and on LinkedIn, for instance, I just don't know how they run the feed. But if I see something that I don't have time to read, but I want to come back to, I'll like it so that it's in my activity profile. That's the only way I seem to be able to find
it's
things.
a reminder to come back to it.
Yeah, so it's a bookmark. It's not actually that I agree with it. Sometimes it's the opposite. I actually disagree with it, but I want to read the article in detail at some later date.
Yep. No, absolutely agree. So, yes, do your homework, I think, is the message really. Look through the lists, particularly the parties that you're considering voting for. You might not recognise the names, but you'll be able to find the information on the party websites. Right. Any more signs coming up, Simon?
Oh, I just saw a new Conservative smoked back there.
Oh, not Leighton Baker.
No, that's the Conservative previous. No, is it the Conservative previously known as Leighton Baker now is Leighton Baker the party?
Okay. Well, it really is becoming crunch time to vote, isn't it? Are you going to vote early or wait till election day?
No, I'm going to vote on Monday as soon as it's open, and get that done. I mean, if you know how you want to vote, just get on with it.
There'll be a few policy announcements dribble out over the next day or two, but essentially it's too late for parties once people start voting.
Yeah, exactly. Just going back to the list briefly, I was down at the lovely little coffee cart, the S2E coffee cart down in the Havelock Marina. It's a hat tip for Sandra. And we were discussing the list because she'd got hers as well, and she said there was all these parties that she'd never heard of, and she said, why would they do it? When I explained, you had to get 500 members and all that sort of thing. And I said, well, because people like us are now standing here discussing them. It gives them a platform that they might not otherwise get. They can get to go to candidate meetings where media will cover it, whereas media might not go to hear what they've got to say individually. So it is a way of platforming yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And good on people for putting their hand up and standing. That's democracy at work.
Yep. I'm just about blind with pink signs. The ACT Party seem to have got the hold on this whole section of highway.
Oh, well, let's see if that translates into votes. Not long to wait now.
No, it's not. If you've got any more questions, we'll definitely have time for one more question episode between now and 14 October. So you can send your questions into us through the contacts page on the website, TorquePoint, it's TORQUE, torquepoint.co.nz, or you can find us on social media.
Yep, LinkedIn and Facebook, but happy to receive your comments and questions anyway. Right, that's it from us today. This is Heather Roy.
Simon Ewing-Jarvie. See ya.